My name's Amy, this is my husband Tino and our little black cat Satchmo, and together we moved from our one-bedroom flat in Glasgow to a little cottage in the north of Scotland. Our cottage came with 2 acres of land, a little stone building we call the byre, and a semi-derelict steading. We have lots of plans for the future of our new home, but we're starting with the work in the cottage. In October last year, we got the 3 main rooms of our cottage plastered, and this month we're getting ready to put some reclaimed pine flooring in to replace the carpets that were here when we moved in. So to prepare for that, we've been enjoying the beginning of spring and planting some flowers. Starting off some seedlings. I planted some ranunculus, some verbena and some sunflowers, and I made myself some folders full of seeds for the rest of the flowers that I plan to plant this year, because I get a little bit overwhelmed with feeling pressure to get a lot done in the garden and to grow a lot, and then I kind of get decision fatigue and I stop looking at how to grow things and just don't grow anything. So this year I thought if I sectioned everything out by month, I'd find it a bit less overwhelming, and at the beginning of each month I can just plant my seedlings and focus on growing them. So that's what I've done here. I'm hoping to grow more than just these flowers, but if I grow these I'll be very happy. I've got poppies, cosmos and lots of sweet peas, and hopefully throughout the next few months I'll be buying more to grow later in the year. My husband grew some vegetables last year, so I'm going to try and leave that to him and I'll focus on the flowers so I don't get too overwhelmed. I've also been making some chicken stock, and I make this because it's really healthy for you. It uses up your chicken carcass if you ever have roast chicken or chicken on the bone, and it uses up vegetables as well. I tend to make this in batches and then freeze it, or just make one big soup at the end of the week using the bone broth. So I'm just adding carrots, shallots, peppercorns, bay leaves, the chicken carcass, and some apple cider vinegar, which helps break down the bones and all the good stuff that's in them. You then top that off with water till it's covering the chicken, and you let it get to a boil, and once it's boiling you turn it down to a simmer and put the lid on. I let it sit for at least 4 hours, but you can do anywhere from 4 to 12 really, it's up to you. I'll leave the recipe I used linked in the description box. I also made my first sourdough loaf since we moved. I used to make these when we lived in the flat, but the starter we had, the jar it was in, broke when we were moving, and I haven't made a new one yet. So I've been working on that over the past few weeks and finally was able to bake with it. And it was delicious. It always is. Making your own bread, I'd highly recommend it. Then it was time to start to clear our home down, just getting rid of anything that didn't need to be there, old flowers included. I again had to clear down my desk. I have to do this so often because I'm currently working in our living room, and I needed to get rid of everything that accumulated and put away all of our cushions and throws and get rid of the furniture because it's time to start the flooring. I'm so excited we're finally here. First thing we did was move out our furniture and rip up the old carpet, which I'm so excited to see go. And we also pulled up the underlay that was underneath the carpet.
just leaves my mind.
So that was on Friday evening, and so Saturday was our first day of really doing the room. And this is how it was looking before we started, with the flooring ripped up and fairly freshly plastered walls. Really lucky with the weather, we got a really nice day, so we were able to cut all the wood outside, and we had to cut this wood into, well, we had to shorten it, and then we had to cut it into smaller pieces. So I was marking it up, my dad was cutting the length, and Tino was cutting it into strips. And in no time we had enough for the living room. So we passed them through the window, the joys of living in a house and not a flat, so that we could start to lay them down. We put them on top of a damp-proof membrane because our original flooring in the cottage is concrete. Then put down our wood to just raise the floor up a wee bit so that we could put in insulation and to have something to nail the pine flooring onto, because we didn't want to put it directly on the concrete. We used nails that are suitable for masonry to attach these battens to the original concrete, the damp-proof membrane in between. So that evening we put down the insulation and we brought in a big selection of the floorboards to get them up to temperature with the room so that they wouldn't shrink or expand too much when we were actually putting them in.
I look for a first that I can't seem to
It started on day 2, Saturday, with a really foggy day, and we wanted to get an early start because we were actually going to be spending most of the day at my parents' house helping them with a big DIY project they're doing, and starting back at our house Sunday.
waking with no. How could a poem hold the way I see your soul?
So this is how the floor was looking, just loosely laid out. As you can see, the boards are quite rough, but I think once they're sanded they're going to look really good and like they've been in the cottage the whole time. So this is what we got done on Saturday morning, about 3 rows, but it looks great and we're really excited to keep going with it. We woke up on Sunday to a really beautiful morning, a little bit misty, but warm, and you could just tell it was going to be a sunny day.
I slip into a cold and step outside.
It's like the countryside's waking up.
A dark and quiet road appears out of the smoke.
So after a pot of tea outside, we got to work on the floors again. We chose reclaimed tongue and groove. We wanted to get it really nice and tight. I think that's the purpose of tongue and groove. And so to tap it in, we made sure to use a shorter plank just to make sure that we weren't marking the boards or denting them in any way. Martin was using the big tongue and groove floor nailer, the big orange thing you can see. I am okay at using a miter saw, so I was doing a lot of the cuts just to save time. And on the boards that we couldn't use the nailer, we were just putting in small screws in the place that the nailer would be, so kind of on the tongue as opposed to somewhere visible. On Monday, we woke up to rain. There was a few sunny spells during the day, but mostly it was raining with even a little bit of sleet. But we really got a lot of work done on Monday because it was the first day we had the whole day just to do the floors. Every other day we've had a few hours here and there, which is why we haven't gotten that much done.
Cedar trees and pines. I walk for miles and miles. All the
I was stopping for regular tea breaks and was making them in a little flask so that I could drink them as we were working, because I kind of need a tea with me at all times, and this kept it nice and hot so I didn't have to worry about drinking it too quickly. These are my two favourite chocolates at the moment. I'm trying to eat more dark chocolate, but the Tony's is probably my favourite because I love milk chocolate. And then after lunch we got back to it. I had to go out and collect more of the flooring from the steading, which is not my favourite job. It's a bit hard to kind of move this wheelbarrow around, but I got it done. And instead of scraping down the sides of the boards, which you saw me do earlier, inside I decided to do it outside because I don't know what I'm scraping off these boards. If we ever did it inside, I hoovered it up straight away, but it's much nicer doing it outside, even though it was raining for a lot of it. Hi, so today is Tuesday. It is the day I'm going to upload this video, and I thought I'd just give you a look at how far we've gotten. I'm trying to upload videos to YouTube every second week at the moment because I want to make sure there's enough to put in them. Also, we're doing obviously quite a lot of work and I want to be able to have time to edit them. So the next video will be going up 2 weeks today. Tuesday 7 p.m. is my current upload time. So I thought I'd show you the progress that we've made so far, and then hopefully in the next video there'll be another big chunk of progress to show you. We've woken up to another kind of rainy day, which is fine. We don't need to do too much outside, and we can set up in the steading for the big miter saw and things like that we need to use. And we're really happy with the progress we've made so far. It's much slower than we thought it was going to be, but it's just because we're using reclaimed flooring. This flooring has been kind of torn out of a block of flats near Glasgow. I would assume it's a block of tenement flats, so Victorian, similar to the flat we lived in before. We are having to repair boards, clean them, and then the tongue groove don't fit perfectly, so kind of making adjustments as we go, which is fine and it's what we expected, but you never know how long these things are going to take until you start doing them. We made a lot of progress yesterday, which was good because it was our first full day doing it, and we have 3/4 of the living room done. Once we're finished that, we'll move into the hallway, and then we'll do the wee middle room, and then we'll do our bedroom. And then we'll sand, and then we can start staining, and then we can paint curtains, radiators, all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping in 2 weeks when I give you another update, we will have at least installed the flooring throughout the house. But hopefully we'll have sanded and stained as well. But I think it's good to just go with the flow and not get stressed at how long things are taking. We've been helping my mum and dad out with a big DIY project too, and Tino works full time. He had yesterday and today off, and I'm self-employed and I've got quite a lot of work to do, but I am freer with when I do it, so I can do it in the evenings, take a few hours here and there. But yeah, so I just wanted to wrap this video up talking to you because I haven't done that yet. I've done voiceovers for most of my videos so far because I was kind of compiling clips that I'd taken as we're going and also from the past. I think it's maybe good to just talk to you face to camera. I'll try and do more of this in future videos, but sometimes I just kind of set the camera up and then we go off and do work, because as I said, this project's taking a while, so trying not to spend too much time sorting out the camera. And also it's a lot of time lapses because we're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, just fitting the floor, cutting the boards, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't want to talk for too long, but I just wanted to thank you so much for all your support on my channel so far. It's been so rewarding to put in the work and for people to actually see it, and your comments have all been so lovely and supportive, and we feel very lucky to be able to share this journey. We're really passionate about restoration and making this home what we want it to be over the years. And it's going to be a slow process because we need to save up for our plans. We're doing a lot of the work ourselves, so it's just going to kind of take as long as it takes, and that's not going to be quick. We've already been in this house a year and a half, and we've really only just gotten started on what we have planned. So yeah, I'm really excited for sharing it, and I'm just very touched by all your comments and really grateful. So I'll share anything we get done today. We've got another full day ahead of us before I post this video, so I will try and film a few more clips today and pop them in at the end so that you can see right where we're up to. We're hoping to get the living room finished today. I'll quickly show you where we're at. So as you can see, we've got just this end section left to do, and we've done the rest of the room. And yeah, I think it's looking really, really good. It's looking as good as I hoped it would. Floorboards, for the most part, are sandwiching together really nicely. We've got some really nice tight joins, and in the one or two places that they aren't, for whatever reason, some of the boards are just slightly narrower or whatever. This is a good example of that. In fact, this is the worst bit in the whole room, which we're fine with, these two bits here. So what we're planning to do is use some slivers. So we'll cut down bits like that and hammer them in, and then when we're sanding the floor, those will sand down as well, and those wee bits will be completely filled. So we're going to do that anywhere there's big gaps, but that's really the two worst bits. But I'm sure throughout the house there'll be a couple of bits like that. So yeah, we're hoping to get the rest of the living room done today. We did stop here last night because we need to take the door off. The door is now too long, and we need to just shorten it slightly by about a centimetre. So we need to take the door off, and then we'll need to kind of figure out what we're doing at the threshold. We're thinking of putting a bit going across, so the boards will kind of meet this, and then this will be like a threshold to the room, and then we'll start afresh in the hall. So yeah, today we're hoping to finish this room and get the hall started. That'll be at the end of this video, hopefully, and then the rest of the haul will be in the next video. I'll share any other footage that we get today, but again, thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one, which will be in 2 weeks. So we've just come back after stopping for lunch. We stopped here with the living room because we need to sort out what we're doing with the doorway, the threshold. So we've been out to the steading, we've cut more of our joists, I think that's what they would be called, because we need to put one right in the threshold and then one on the other side of the threshold. So we'll have 3 quite close together, one just to hold the board that's going to go right in the threshold, and then one to start the hall flooring. So we've ripped up the carpet and the underlay from the hall, so it's just back to the concrete floor. We've got a big crack here, but we're not worried about it. And we've emptied out the bottom of our cupboard in preparation for doing the hall today. So this is how we're looking at the moment. We can't do any more to the living room until we've at least got the joists down in the hall. After lunchtime, it's probably about 2 o'clock now, so we're not sure how much we're going to get done today. We don't really want to be living for too long with this situation in the hall, because obviously the hall joins all the other rooms and it's just annoying to walk over. But needs must, we're actually going to be away from the house tomorrow, so we won't be getting anything done then, but we might be able to get a wee bit done tomorrow night. So we're just going to see kind of where we get to today, and then we'll take it from there. Ideally we'd get the rest of the living room finished and get the hall done, but I think that's wishful thinking. Tino's just away just now to pick up tools from my mum and dad's house, because my dad has a lot of tools that we don't have, and he's gone to pick up the laser level because we need it to kind of start doing the joists and start doing the hall. So yeah, but I think I'm using my phone to film this because I actually broke my camera lens, which is unfortunate. So it's looking a wee bit gloomier in here than it actually is, but I still love the plaster pink and the glow it gives the house, even though we're not keeping it. It's very pretty. It's gotten a bit sunnier outside, which is nice, although it keeps kind of changing from sun to rain, but enjoying the sun while we can. So this is where we've gotten to. It's now 6 o'clock. the evening that I'm uploading this video. So this is kind of where we're at real time. And unfortunately, an unsatisfying finish. I really wanted to finish the room to show you, but we've just got a wee bit left to do. We've been doing a lot of figuring out for the threshold, and we've just kind of figured out the angle now so we can make all the cuts. So sorry that you didn't get to see the room finished, but it'll all be in the next one, and hopefully by then we'll be much further on. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you made it to the end of the video, and sorry if you were disappointed. I am too, but that's the reality of DIY. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one.